Good evening, everyone. This is yours truly, Jasmine D. Millhouse. And I know I just finished National Entrepreneur Month, but I am here with my brand new show, The Fly Show, right here. That's going to be live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am excited to start the month off. You know, today is the first. It's the first of the month. It's the last month of the year. So we are about to start 2022 with a bang. I know you wonder like why we started 22 because if you start in January, you already late. All right. So we getting this thing started off right. I hope you know that song. If you're saved, you ought to go pray about it. But anyway, I am so super excited about the Fly Show, where the Fly stands for First Love You. And you know me. And if you don't, let me introduce myself one more time. I am the CEO and founder, and I am a certified life coach. I am a self-love transformation coach, and I am the CEO of Purpose to Fly, where I help women tackle their obstacles and their oppositions to reconcile their self-love through daily strategies and personal coaching. But enough about me. I am here interviewing such a beautiful, kind hearted, strong willed woman of God. And it brings me great pleasure just to give you a snippet of who she is in this bio. Okay. Miss Rhonda Reed is a native of the Atlanta, Georgia, who has experienced many obstacles in life. She grew up on the southwest side of Atlanta and Ben Hill. You don't know what Ben Hill at? You ain't been in Atlanta long enough, okay? All right. Where life became a secret as the nightmares came, the reality of life set in, and life as she knew it went further downhill. God placed a gift inside of her that the devil can't even grasp a hold of. She was blessed with a gift through visions and dreams at a very early age. She knew this gift was special, but didn't realize how much until God used her to encourage others from what He showed her. The more she experienced life trials and tribulations, the more her gift from God manifested. So now her spirituality stands forefront of the dark secrets that must be told. Buckle your seatbelts, glue your wig on tight, make sure your lashes ain't blowing in the wind, because if your hair fall out, it ain't my fault. You ain't finna sue me, because we are going to be digging deep tonight about how to unlock yourself out of your own mental prison. All right. And if you don't know what that is, she is the author of A Prisoner in My Own Mind that we're going to be talking about later in the show as well. So it is my pleasure. It is a privilege of mine to introduce such a dear friend, Miss Rhonda Reed. Hi, Miss
Hey,
Rhonda.
hey. I
How are
love just
you?
how you just introduced it and said it. It's like I had to feel it all over again. And we get silly every time we be around each other.
And do.
But I appreciate the opportunity. I'm honored. I'm so honored to be on your platform. And I love you so much. So
Don't
so
make me cry. Don't make me cry. You know I'm a bucket of water, okay? So I want to kind of dig a little bit in your story tonight, okay? And as you're watching, I forgot to say, as you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. If anything resonates with you, put it in the comments. We chatted up around here, so if you get girl, I know that's right. I want to see you talk about it in the comments, okay? And also let us know where you're watching from. Share this on your page, tag someone in the comments, and let us know that you're watching and let them know they need to get on. All right. Hey Rashina. Hey Rashanta. Miss Redmond. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. So after reading your bio, kind of
Mhm.
take us through your journey and leading up to where you are right now.
Well, my journey outside of being created and born, my actual journey started from the time I was 5 till I was 35. Being molested for 13 years of my childhood and teenage life to being raped, kidnapped, on drugs, in the strip clubs, just kind of all over the place. And was still trying to find myself and didn't really understand or didn't really have anyone to let me know it's okay to love you. So by the time when I got to about 35, that's when a different light bulb came on. And I started figuring out like it's got to be more to life than
Mhm.
just this. Like I
Mhm.
cannot stay in that sunken place. I can't stay in my past. I got to move on and figure out the best way. And even though at 35 that light bulb came on, it still didn't happen instantly. I
Mhm.
still had to go through the process.
Mhm.
And throughout my life, I watch people just want to get to the end result, but they don't want to go through the work.
Mm.
And I know I had to go through the work. I had to
Yeah.
be delivered. I had to be set free. I had to be healed. And that's what a lot of people are missing out on. They just want to be set free. They don't want to be delivered. They don't want to be healed and then set free.
Yeah.
So,
And what some don't realize, the work comes in being set free. Okay, you got something you want to be set free from. You got something that you're going through. You're fighting your own personal, or spiritual demons of past trials and past tribulations that you have not conquered or that you have not dealt with. And but you still want to stay stuck in it. It's
mhm,
okay. It's like we live in a microwave mentality society
right.
where I put my popcorn in the microwave, or I put my issues in the microwave, and I want it to heat me up a beautiful life.
Mhm,
It don't work like that. You
right.
got a crock pot, some stuff. You gotta slow roast your issues and deal with it and get to the root. How hard was it for you to get to the root of your issues?
It was extremely hard. Like it was points where I was just so mad and I became so upset with everybody around me. And certain times I disconnected myself from people. I didn't want to be bothered with nobody. I was just like, it was everybody else's fault. I didn't want to take accountability. Even though, and I can say accountability at a point, not when I was much younger and I didn't have enough voice or I didn't feel like I had enough voice, but when I got to a certain age, I was still trying to blame everybody for everything that I was dealing with at that time, facing the reality coming, the memories coming back up, the nightmares coming up. And I'm just like, well, what is this? Like, what is going on? And I just had to get to that certain place of, okay, Rhonda, it's time for you to forgive you first before
Mm.
you can even forgive anybody else. It's time for you to address why you did not say nothing, why you couldn't speak on it and all of that stuff because I didn't love myself. I dealt with rejection for so long from my own biological father, and I was looking for love in all the wrong places, trying to replace him. And I just had to get to a certain point when I was just like, you know what, enough is enough. I got to love me. I got to know it's okay.
Mhm.
I'm not the only person who's been through this. So for years, I thought like I felt like I was the only one, but I wasn't. And I couldn't feel fully understand it at that time. But then I had to make up in my mind, and I had to make that executive decision like, Rhonda, you got to start loving you. You got to
Mhm.
know your worth. I don't care if don't nobody else say it to me at all. I got to believe in me. I got to know it's something I got to be doing. Everything I went through was not in vain. Can't be mad at the world. Can't
Mhm.
blame nobody else. Take responsibility for your own stuff. And I got to that place. And that's when life started revealing itself more and more to me.
And in those revelations, how did it get you to the point, or the mindset to say, okay, I gotta write about it. I gotta get this out. I gotta release this. How did it how did you come about writing your book?
So, I have always been an undercover writer. I wrote a lot growing up. A lot of people didn't know that. And even during that phase of my life when I was on drugs real bad,
Mhm.
and I had those moments I was sitting in the house and I was by myself and I would just be writing poems and writing stuff. Nobody never knew. And I held on to all of it. Even when I had went off to college, it was certain papers I had to write. I wrote up. I still got all that stuff. But then it was about 6 years ago, and I was staying off Camerton Road. I was back on Camerton Road on in the SWATs, and God clearly spoke to me. He was like, "It's time." I was like, "What?" You need to write your book. Now, a few months prior to that, I started writing and didn't even understand why. I was just writing stuff. And when it came, I was like, okay, so I'm be obedient. I was at that phase of my life. I'm just gonna be obedient. I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do. Well, what am I gonna name it? And then that's when he gave me a prisoner of my own mind. And while I was writing, it came back into my remembrance of all the poems I wrote during those times when I was out there in the world. And he specifically said, after every chapter, you're going to put each and every one of these poems to fit that chapter. Never knew that 20 something years ago, what I wrote down would come into fruition with what he wanted me to do. So I just had to be obedient and I did it. And I was scared. I was like, ain't nobody going to receive this. Ain't, whatever. I just had it in my mind, but I was obedient and I did what he told me to do.
Okay, so back up a little bit because sometimes we hear that little still small voice, and we, God, I just want you to talk to me, and I feel like I'm alone in the world and I feel like there's nobody here, or and stuff like that. How did you get still to know and to be able to hear his voice and understand that it was him telling you to move?
I had a situation that happened with my oldest son a few years prior to that. And he was a severe asthmatic and he's flatlined 7 times. And I was going to church at the time, but I still had my questions. I still was trying to understand things because I didn't grow up in the church. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. So a lot of things that was going on, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. But he had an episode one night, and at the time, my bedroom was downstairs, and I was in a split level home, and his room was right above. The boys' room was right above, and I heard the machine come on, so I know that's what he normally do every single night. But that particular night, he was able to reach and turn the machine on, but he couldn't reach the mask, and his attack got so much worse that he was trying to get the mask, and I heard a boom boom, and I'm like, what's that? So I run upstairs. By the time I get there, he stopped breathing. He was cold. He was blue. I was just like, God, please don't take my son. And I remember to this day of the feeling of just put your hand on his chest and pray. And immediately that's what I did. And less than a minute, he grabs. He grabs for air. And my baby started breathing. At that moment, because I physically saw God perform a miracle, that changed me. It just did. I had never witnessed that. It saved my son's life. And even though
Right.
he had to go through other traumatic things after that with his health, um, I still depended on God. I still went to Him in the midst of, and that changed my whole life.
Wow. 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 And some of us pray for a sign, and we often fail to see the signs every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Every moment, just taking, what you said and you being able to hear your son gasp for air, and we have the ability to
Mm-hmm.
inhale and outhale. Exhale, excuse me. Y'all know what outhale means. You go with it. Don't judge me. I'm from DeSoto, Georgia, okay? You heard it. Outhale. When you can inhale and exhale and you don't have to fight for that breath, and those are things that we take advantage of, you know.
Exactly.
Those are, and that is you never know what you need, and you never know the power of what you have until you can't have it in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand how important your legs, your toes, your breath, your hands, your fingers, these are things that we take for granted. And when we no longer have it, or if we have to fight for it, it changes your perspective on so many things. So
Mm-hmm.
many things. And being in that moment and being able to understand and see the power of God move in your son, and know that it ain't the power in my hand, it's not my might. I didn't put my mouth on you and breathe in your own thing. I thought about was, let me just pray for my baby. That's all I got right now. 911, y'all come get him.
Yeah.
But right now, while you on the way, I just gotta pray for my baby.
CPR wasn't even an option. Like that wasn't even the first thought
No, it's
at
prayer.
all.
Pray. Let me pray.
That's
let,
it.
let me pray. Let me pray. And being in those, just going through your journey, and the things that you've overcome and the things that you've come through, being in, I know you said it kind of briefly, being on drugs, being in, in strip clubs. What was those times, like for you? Like what was your mindset in those moments?
In the beginning, because at that time when I first started, I really didn't let nobody know. I've
Mm-hmm.
always been a type of person that kind of, marched to my
Been to
own.
yourself. Yep.
Yeah, I did my own thing. I ain't have to tell nobody. It is what it is. However you found out, you found out. I'm gonna keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes because I see myself as a humble person, and I'm a lot of times more reserved. Some people feel like, oh, she's a follower, but I'm really not. And I was in that place where I was just like, I'm just doing my own thing. At that time when I first started, I was doing hair, making money, and I was focused on taking care of my mom. Because when I went to college, instead of the typical parent-child role where the parents sending the child money, no, I was hustling and I was sending money home because we grew up poor. So
Mm-hmm.
I was focused on that, and I was like, okay, this is something I can just do. Ain't no big thing. Did I feel dirty? Did I feel? Yes, I did. Because a lot of times people think about if you work in a club in that type of atmosphere, you automatically doing this. You selling your body. I ain't have to do that. I don't even have no mouthpiece like that to even run game like that. To keep it 100. Like no, I was one of them. You want to dance? Okay, you want to dance? It wasn't. I'm not for to waste my time because I have never been that type of person. But at a certain point, once people started finding out about it, I started getting judged,
Mm-hmm.
and that made me feel some type of way because it's like I've never been a judgmental person. Like I don't even get people's mindset. People can say all day if that was me, or if I was in that situation, I wouldn't do, you know what I'm saying? You hear that so much, but you never know what you would do when you're in that situation.
That is so true.
But I made up in my mind. I had people cutting me off. I had an ex-boyfriend of mine that I had been with for so long. He was like, "Oh, too many people talking. We got to break up." At
Mm.
that point, I was like, "You know what? It's me against the world.
Right.
Either you're gonna accept me or you not." But right
Mm-hmm.
now, I know what I'm doing, and I fell into that trap of getting caught up in the game as far as drugs or whatever, and I beat myself up for a long time. But
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through the process.
Right.
That was the cards I dealt.
Yeah.
That was dealt to me, and I
Right.
just went with it. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to figure this thing out called life. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I want to do.
Right.
I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I wasn't trying to offend nobody. I just want to be me because I've always accepted people genuinely for just who they are.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that's all I want.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
and it gets hard when when you come from a small child, childhood, being abused mentally, physically, sexually, emotionally. It is extremely hard as an adult because we look and yearn for that safe attention. We
Mm-hmm.
we yearn for someone to really see us, not just physically, but spiritually. Do you see me?
Mm-hmm.
And it causes us to go sometimes down dark paths looking for people to see me. I want to be visible. I just want someone to know that I exist. I don't want to have to, flip over, do tricks and bend back and stand up at the same time just for you to see that I'm here.
Right.
I gotta almost kill myself for you to be like, oh, okay, well, there go Jazz. Okay, hey girl. Well, I'm about dead now. It's a little too late. Don't give me my flowers when I stop breathing. I want flowers right now. But the thing is, we have to learn how to give our own self our own flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have to develop that mindset and that strength to know you have to do like the song says and encourage yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're going through the dark times, even when you're in the moments where you're making decisions that may not be easy, and when you feel like you said it's me against the world, and that's if it's me, God in the world, then we just gonna do this thing and we gonna thug it out and
Right.
we gonna do what we have to do. But I have to still do what I have to do for me, whether you accept me or not. And if you don't judge me, pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
Say encourage, still encourage me. If I'm doing wrong, well, sis, there's a better way. But not to get in your business, but I just want to let you know. Keep that in your mind. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean. Just give
Yeah.
an encouraging word. It does not hurt you to encourage anybody,
Yeah.
anybody, and being that encourager, and now an author. Did you write your book hoping that it would help someone, or did you just write it for a releasing moment?
I wrote it specifically to help someone.
Mm-hmm.
Because after talking to different people and like, wow, somebody else really been through this. I
Mm-hmm.
literally have not been by myself. I haven't been the only person. And again, I was being obedient.
Mm-hmm.
God told me what to do, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust you, God. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna let
Right.
it be known. And that was my only thing. It wasn't, as far as for me, it wasn't anything that I could get from it. I just wanted to help somebody else to know that, hey, I know everybody's situation is different. It's some
Mm-hmm.
people's situations out there much worse than mine. And I'm
Right.
not taking nothing away from nobody else.
Right.
But also to let somebody know, hey, if I made it through, you can
Yeah.
make it through too.
Right.
If
Right.
you just need that one little sentence or that one little word or
Mm-hmm.
something that can trigger what's
Mm-hmm.
already inside of you. All of us have a gift. All of us
Mm-hmm.
have a light within
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. But if I can be that one person, if I can touch one person and let them know it's okay. It's okay for you to feel how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay that you went through what you went through. It's okay to know that you are beautiful and ain't nobody else got to tell you. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to be courageous. It's okay to be mad, even if only for a minute. It's okay. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you don't hear that. Everybody wants you to just be like, "Oh, I'm good," knowing good and well
You ain't.
you ain't good.
Them two infamous words that we as women always use. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Ain't then then I'm straight. You
Yeah.
know, it's them two words that and I raise my hand, guilty as charged. Okay. Guilty as charged. I've had my moments, but I'm learning to understand that in the moments when I'm not okay, to don't bottle it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let that out.
Right.
Because it harbors and it festers and it can deteriorate you internally,
Mm-hmm.
and
Definitely.
it causes you to remain a prisoner in your own mind. you know it
Mhm.
causes you to keep you bound and shackled with your own chains. It
Yep.
causes you to stay stuck and stagnant right where you are. And in coming out of your journey, being delivered from everything in your past life to where you are right now, what has transpired between then and now?
I have a lot more peace.
Mm,
Um, it took me a while, and even with the person who molested me for those years, when he passed away 11 years ago, and going to the cemetery, going through the service and all of that stuff, I stood at his casket and I was just waiting, like, okay, once the casket go down, I'm good. That's
mm,
what I felt.
mm-hmm.
I was standing there so long, my sister was like, hey, everybody been gone for about 30, 45 minutes. Can you come on? Because it wasn't going nowhere. The
Right.
whole time I thought, since he done passed away, I really can let this go. And
Mm,
it didn't. So I had to go through the whole process again. I had to, you know, even when I was having nightmares and I'm having these dreams and these things popping up reminding me certain stuff could happen. I could go somewhere. I could go to a certain area where things transpire. I can see a certain vehicle and things transpire. The memory pop back up and I'm just like, this can't control me. Like, this is
mhm,
crazy. I should not be having anxiety attacks when I go into Family Dollar. Like, what's
mm,
wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? He
right.
still had control and he dead and gone.
Mm,
Wherever he resting it. And I'm still here with my five little people depending. Well, they ain't little no more, but they depending on me. And I can't even get myself together
mhm,
and let this go and really heal and really forgive for real, for real.
mm,
Not that, oh, I forgive, knowing
mm.
good and well you really haven't.
Talk about it.
I had to go through the whole process again. I had to
Mm,
meet myself again. I had to relive everything again. And that was one of the things writing the book. Whew,
don't get me
writing
started.
about your life. And I know you know. You reliving every single
Everything.
thing. And
Hmm.
people trying to figure out why you got an attitude today. Why you looking like that? Cause I can. And I know that might be not be godlike, but it is
That's
what
what
it
I'm
is.
feeling today. That's what I'm
Yeah.
feeling.
You don't even know what I just wrote last night. You don't even know what's going on.
Hmm.
But I had to revisit, not because I wanted to, but because I had
Mm, mm,
to
mm.
get past it.
Healing is not an option. It's a must.
It got to be.
It's a must. In order for you to live out your life to the fullest, healing has to be number one on your list.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, look right here, boom, it is never pretty, but it's necessary to get to the beautiful part of who you are. You said,
Yes.
you typed the little type because I know you said it, but you typed a mouthful right there. In
Yes.
order for you to heal, you got to rip down the ugly gutter. You wake up in the morning, you ain't got no, I don't want no makeup on, I don't want no lips. You gonna get these dark eyes. I'm gonna go to the grocery store with my bunny and my slides, and I'm just not in the mood. Don't leave me alone. I'll give me a pint of chocolate Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Let me buy it and go home and mind my business, you know. And
Yes.
but you have to go through those moments, and guess what? It is okay to have that moment,
Mm-hmm.
but don't turn it into a lifetime
Right. It's hey. Hmm.
that you can't take ownership of that. Go ahead, go ahead. I see you stewing. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing because you just said it right there. That's just what it is. We can't
You
just
can,
soak in that. We need to be
mhm.
marinating in something else. Don't be marinating and getting extra seasoning on something you ain't got. Let mm-mm. No.
You see that right there. We cannot bury anything still alive in our minds and heart and expect it to die.
Hey, that's wait, hold up. That mama.
That mama right there.
Hey mama. Yes, mama.
That mama, that mama right there. You read what she said. You can
Yes.
listen, if for some of us that are still, that we can still see our people that did whatever they did.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go home, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and stuff like that. And when we don't heal, and when we don't deal with it, because you got to face it, just you got to go back to it. You got to face that thing. And when you don't deal with it, you the sight or the name of a person can trigger your anger. It can trigger your anxiety. You feel like your breath is leaving your body. You don't know how to deal. You feel like the walls is closing in. You get claustrophobic. That's because you have not healed. That's because you have not forgiven them. And again, going back to what you said earlier, you got to start with you first.
I'm gonna tell you something that happened about a year ago. I, I had went through the process of what I felt like was the main thing, which was the molester,
Mm-hmm.
my biological father, and I end up, and I don't even go on Facebook like I used to. I end up logging on, and Facebook, they done got all extra bougie for whatever reason. Neither here nor there, whatever.
But
But
since we out there,
so it's like you have these suggested friends popping up,
mm-hmm.
especially don't get no new contact.
Mm-hmm.
And they in your
Mm-hmm.
phone for about 2 weeks, and then this time
Yep.
you log on, you see their face, you be like, "Wait a minute, we just worked together. Like I ain't trying to be."
Right. I don't want to
Anywho,
be the friend.
so about a year ago, I went on Facebook and it gave a suggested friend. Immediately, I started shaking,
Mm.
and I was like, "Oh my God, that's him." It was the person who kidnapped me when I was a junior on my way to a senior. It was in summer school, during summer school.
Wow.
Kidnapped me, raped me, and dropped me back off on the same street. And I hadn't seen his face. And so it messed me up. I wasn't even in a place where I was trying to deal with that.
Mm.
I called my prophetess. I was like, hey, I think I called my BFF. I was like, I feel like I'm losing it. Like I was gone for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It messed me up. Got me. That's why I don't go on Facebook like I used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stopped for a minute. And
Mm.
then I was like, okay, let me just check on my phone. I'm not a phone person. So let me just check
Right.
on my people.
Right.
Came back up again. Messed me up again. I said,
Mm.
no, God, I got to be delivered from this thing.
Right.
By the time the third time came, it wasn't as bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't shaking. I wasn't breathing, hyperventilating. By the fourth time, I was like, oh, okay, bet. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the point of it's some things that are so hidden and so pushed down that I didn't realize was still holding me hostage.
Mm.
I didn't realize it still had some weight. And the only reason why it had some weight because I didn't face it. I had to face it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go ahead and go through the process. I just told my middle daughter the other night, I'm like, you want the end result. You don't even want to go through the process to get the end result.
What's up with these little kids that don't want to learn nothing?
Girl, that's a whole different conversation. We
That's
can
a
have a
whole
whole
other
other
show.
show on that. I don't know what's going on with this generation.
With
But
these,
baby,
you got to, you gotta purge. You have to, and it's the craziest things that can trigger you. The
mm-hmm.
thing that you forget about is because you forget, some things that you go through, you sweep it under the rug, or you just say, I just want to walk away and I want to push it to the furthest I can get it in my mind.
Yeah,
But it comes a time where one day it's gonna say,
right.
you remember when you pushed me back? How you doing? I am here.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been sitting for a little bit and I've been festering. You smell it before you see it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel yourself again changing and shifting in such a way. And you like, what is going on with me? What's up? What is my trigger?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that's causing me to be in this position that I'm in right now mentally?
Right.
You got to trace that tree. You got to trace that tree and dig that root. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's the roots that you think you clipped that's still sitting in there and they growing, and then they're gonna peek right back up like a little bud and say,
Right.
hey,
I'm
this
here.
tree still growing. We here.
We busting through pipes, everything.
And everything. We roses growing out of concretes around here.
Right.
Hello. you
That's the
know,
weeds.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
you have to clip those weeds. In knowing all of that, and then going through everything and knowing how to get deep to your roots, and also being slapped with your roots on Facebook, because social media is real tricky. It'll
Right.
get you. What have you learned or gained, from your experiences in your life?
Um, I pretty much learned that it's all a matter on how you deal with the cards you've been dealt.
Mm-hmm.
Like either I can deal the cards, or either I can play the deck.
Mm.
It's up to me what I choose to do. I'm not no longer nobody else's. They can't be the puppet master, so they can't be
You ain't
handling
got my
me.
strings no more. You
Yeah,
don't guide me. Yeah.
I had to learn how to take control of my thoughts, my emotions, and yeah, granted, I ain't got it all the way down pat because I do have some moments sometimes when it comes to certain people. But
Yeah.
cheer, that's a whole different them kids. But as far as the people that has literally have controlled my mind,
Mm-hmm.
whenever they call my phone, I see they like, and my whole mood changed. I
Mm-hmm.
had to change that. At
Wow.
that point, I was like, you know what? It's either them or you, Rhonda. What you gonna do?
Mm.
Now, if I get a phone call, even though I block and I do whatever, but they'll find another way, and I see, and it still some phones they'll still say whatever name they got. Oh, okay, but not gonna answer that. I'm good. Hey kids, what y'all got going on? What we doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
don't have the power. You're not for to shift my atmosphere.
Ooh.
Because if you shift in my atmosphere, that means you still got control over me.
Mm-hmm.
And I already know I ain't even got no control over you like that. Because if I
Right.
did, you still wouldn't be trying to reach out. So let me change this whole game. Now we playing chess. We ain't doing checkers no more.
And the queen always run the board, baby. Let
Hey,
me tell you that. If you don't know how to play chess, just know the queen rules the game. Okay,
yes.
checkmate
And that's
all
how we
day.
doing.
And okay. Just to kind of go back to that and break that point down some. And getting to that to where you were able to take control over Rhonda and understand that you can't control nobody else. Was that an easy transition for you, or
It
was it?
wasn't. It
Well,
wasn't.
okay.
It was just at a point where, like I said, it was at a place of it's either me or them.
Mm-hmm.
And me, because of what I experienced as a child, I've always had this controlling issue. So I'm trying to control what you do to me. I'm trying to control how you respond because I don't know what you're gonna do. So since I ain't had no control over my childhood, I ain't had no control over what happened, and nobody was really there to defend me, then I got in defense mode all the time. So at this point, I'm gonna say this, it might make you mad or whatever, but I'm just trying to control what happens in the situation, which really didn't always work out. I'll
Mm-hmm.
admit,
Mm-hmm.
because I was going from it in a aggressive perspective rather than a place of peace and finding um, peace within the situation.
Right. Right.
I was trying to control it on a whole different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Angle, I mean, not angle, but angle.
I
I was
got you.
trying to handle it in a certain type of way, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't being realistic. So
Right.
if I say this and I say all colorful words to you, and thinking that it was gonna change, I'm literally trying to change somebody who ain't even ready to be changed. I shouldn't even give nobody else that much power to think that they can try to change me to what they want me to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to do that.
Right.
I'm thinking in my mind, I'm trying to make you a better person. But if they don't want to change, then okay, I ain't wasting my time no more. What we
Y'all,
doing?
y'all see the nonchalant friend that I have. When you can get to the place to where you understand that that right there is power and it is key because you have ultimate control over you and what goes on around in your, like you said, shift. You can't shift my atmosphere. If I allow you to be able to shift me, God don't control me.
Mm-hmm.
That means I'm letting you stand in his lane, and that's not your position.
Mm-hmm.
If you can move me in any kind of way, I can't hear clear.
Right. And I
I
done gave
can't.
you too much power.
I didn't gave you too much power over me. And now I'm standing here. I'm a soldier in your army. I'm marching on your battlefield. I'm ready
See,
to go to war for you. We be out here fighting war for jokers when you done already won the war for yourself.
right. Come on now.
Sometimes you gotta end the war, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta let the war wave your white flag and say, "All right, I quit. You got it. I surrender." Because
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure that I'm good. If I'm allowing you to control me, what type of mom am I for my kids?
Right.
What type of spouse am I going to be in my relationship, or whatever you have going on? What type of business owner am I if I'm allowing the enemy to come in here and control me? And I'm not necessarily calling a person the enemy. I'm calling what you allowing yourself internally to deal with the enemy,
Right.
because it ain't them.
Yep.
They're doing them. You have to learn how to do you.
Yep. And at the end of the day, and I tell my kids this all the time. I said some people demons is gonna be irritated because of your spirit.
Whew. Talk about it.
So I'm not gonna let their demons control me. And I was
Mhm,
doing that for a minute. I was
mhm,
allowing their demons to control me. So
mhm.
I had to throw my hands up. I ain't got time for this. So
Call
I'm
it out.
gonna give you that much power again. because of
Mm-hmm.
your stuff, because you ain't been delivered yet.
Right.
You ain't been healed
Mm-hmm.
and you ain't been set free. So now your stuff become my stuff. Cause I'm still trying to control. Now you can have that
Mm.
cookie. Go on over there
Mm.
somewhere.
Mm. Mm. And instead of taking responsibility and holding you accountable for getting you right, you take ownership of somebody else's cross and start carrying it like it's yours.
Right.
Make it make sense. And you know what's so crazy? We as women, we automatically do that because we're nurturers by nature.
Yes.
And it's like okay, this is my kid, these are my children, or this is my whatever, and I gotta make sure they're straight and I gotta make sure they're good. Okay, but little John is 29. Okay, let's talk about it. Is it still your responsibility to pay for everything that little John need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. Little Nuck need to get up. A man that don't work don't eat. Okay, last
Right.
time that's the book, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
not just necessarily saying a man. Oh, that goes for a woman as well, because you have to position yourself for better. You have
Mm-hmm.
to position yourself for greater, and that comes through healing. That comes through dealing. That comes through knowing the importance of cutting people off when they've outworn their welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't welcome over here no more, because you controlling me too much. If the sight of you makes me mad, that's a problem.
Yeah. And
If
then
I
it's
hear your name and I'm irritated, that's a problem.
yeah. And then it's like, what are we saying to God?
Mm. You.
If I'm stepping in every situation, I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to control everything. I'm trying to change you and fuss at you and do this, that, and the third. And that's on a general board, not just anybody in particular, but just
Right.
in any situation, whatever ship it's on, whether it's relationship, friendship, workship, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever ship, what are you saying to God? I don't trust you.
Ooh.
If I'm stepping in on everything that I said, okay, I surrender, I give it to you. I'm praying to you, God, and I'm asking you for direction, but I'm stepping back in every chance I get. You just saying, I don't trust you, God. So what seed we working on? We still doing a mustard seed? What we working on? What we got going on? We got to start checking ourselves. Because if I
Mm.
surrender and I fully surrender and I'm giving it to you, God,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it look like. I don't care what it feel like. I don't even know what you got going on in the background. I don't even know what you're doing. But if I'm fully going to surrender and give it to you, I'm going to let you have it.
Come on, minister.
Handle it the way you want to. I'm good.
I'm done. I'm gonna go on over here and keep trucking with what you told me to do, and I'm gonna let you handle that right there, because
Right.
that ain't none of my business.
And even when the thought come back in your head, because it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Distractions going to come.
Absolutely.
The weapon will form, but it don't have to prosper. If you truly, truly trust and believe that once you surrender, that's just what it's gonna be.
Mm. My.
So let me mind my business and go on over here and pray through the process. Okay, yep, uh-huh. No, I ain't for the step in there. God, help me, help me. My mind going somewhere else. Help me.
Right. Yeah. Mm. Mine. And look, this is good. I hope they lighten these comments up. Um, what would you say to the person that is going through such a trying time in life? And we going, this is my wrap up question, okay? What would
Mm-hmm.
you say to that person that is going through a tumultuous time, that don't understand how to unlock themselves, how to put the key in the cell and free their own self? What would you say to that person that is dealing with that?
Ask yourself, are you really tired? Because everybody is not a place of knowing God, knowing how powerful He is. They don't have that particular relationship they feel like they want to have, or they just don't know. It took a while. I wasn't into my 20s before I was introduced, and that was by my best friend and my god sister. I'm a triplet now, so um, they fully introduced me. But you got to really ask yourself: Are you tired? Are you tired of going through the same thing, doing the same thing, and getting the same results? Once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you know you got to change something. And then get to a place where it's okay for you to say, you know what? It's time for a change. Say it out loud. And like you said earlier, encourage yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be some work. And that's what people don't realize. Like anything worth having is not gonna be easy. And we go through this thing called life and we just feel like, oh, it's just supposed to be smooth sailing. No, it's not. You're gonna be tested. You're gonna have to go through some more stuff. You make up your mind, and then bam, you can wake up in the morning. Here goes something else.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean you give up. At a certain point, you got to know your worth and your value. You got to love you enough to know I deserve better. And no matter what you went through, no matter what you have done, no matter if you done crossed somebody, whatever, everybody got a past, but it ain't your future.
Oh.
We all have done some stuff, but your past don't dictate your future. It can help you be your future, but don't dwell in it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just keep going. You got to believe in you. Because look, I'm at a certain age in my life where I'm just gonna say
I want to ask you your age so bad.
44. I'm just at this point in my life where I will pray, just like I tell my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Once y'all turn 12, only thing I'm doing is going to God and asking him to cover you. What I'm not gonna do, what I was doing prior to 12 was asking for y'all forgiveness.
Right.
That's what I'm not gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So at a certain point, you know what? Either you make up in your mind what you want to do with yourself, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say it like this. I ain't gonna waste my prayers on somebody who ain't got their mind made up. I'm gonna pray that God cover you. I'm gonna pray that He deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna be like God help her. Mm-mm. He gave me that assignment. And sometimes we sign up for stuff that we don't even supposed to be signed up for.
Mm.
Because if you genuinely have a heart and you always want to help people, you always want to try to figure everything out for them. You take on their weight, their responsibility, and while you carrying their weight, you carrying all their burdens, they gone on doing their own thing. And what they talk to you about or what they come to you about, and they saying, hey sis, pray for me, or hey man of God, pray for me, or hey bro, or whatever. You doing all this, you going to war for them, and they just like, oh, okay, well, she praying for me, so I'm good. No, faith without works is dead. What are we doing? I can't be out here fighting your battles and you ain't even fighting your own.
My. Mm. And in closing, carry your own weight, will you? Carry your own weight.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is you have to learn how to deal and be you before you go hand yourself off to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
and expected them to make you whole and complete. Because you whole by yourself. You came here whole.
Mm-hmm.
Right, boom. My buggy full. I ain't got no room All my groceries is good. Look, I'm good over here on my own dear weight. I don't
And
need no extra. Trust me, I'm
look,
fine.
and it's the bug at the regular grocery store, not that little long cart at Sam's. Like, no, we ain't
No,
transferring the
we
weight.
talking Food Depot, Kroger buggies, or better yet, one of them Dollar Tree buggies that's about
Yes,
this wide as this screen. About that's all I got. This is your capacity level.
the little bitty
If it
ones.
can't fit in here, I can't carry it. And about all I got right there is a prayer.
Right.
Is a prayer. God bless them, cover them, and keep them, and protect them wherever they go. In
Mm-hmm.
your son Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
And I'm finna go on that. All right, now what we eat for dinner? You see what I mean?
Right.
When you learn how to release people, your
Mm-hmm.
freedom comes in, your peace comes in. You stressing because of people. You bound because of people. When
Mm-hmm.
you break them chains and you take that key and unlock that cell that you put yourself in, because you locked your own self up.
Right.
You shackled your own self. You whipped the chains around your own ankles and on your own wrists to where you couldn't move, and to where you feel like this is life and this is what I have to deal with. That's not what you were created for.
Mm-hmm.
You said something so funny. You talk about the mustard seed. The mustard seed ain't but that little.
Right.
Okay. No, that's not an actual mustard seed for y'all that's asking. So don't get, don't
Get technical.
look right. I ain't got no mustard seeds in my house, but just know that's just how big it is. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's the starting level of how much faith you need to have.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that faith is in yourself, have faith enough in you to know that you can be able to get up and put one foot before the other and move in the direction that you need to move for you.
Yep.
It's no longer the year, it is no longer the season for you to worry about what somebody else got going on.
Get uncomfortable with yourself.
Y'all heard it. Say that again for what they
Get
say for the people
uncomfortable
in the
with
back.
yourself. Get uncomfortable with yourself because you used to doing the same thing and you used to feel. Get uncomfortable.
Change your routine.
Mm-hmm.
Change your routine. You can't restore regular. Okay. Let me tell you that. You can't restore regular. It's
I'm over here
it,
shouting. You can't see it. Like,
it's, it's not gonna work.
mm,
It's not gonna work. We've been mundane long enough.
mm,
We've been mediocre long enough.
yep.
That ain't who we were created to be. That's not who you were sent here to be. Purpose is not mediocre. Purpose is not running around practicing all day. Purpose is taking steps and
Mm-hmm.
making moves even when you don't know what you're doing, even in your confusion, even when you're doubting yourself. Move. Even when you say, I'm a child. I was molested as a child. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. I'm a survivor of drugs, and I'm free and I'm clean. Or I was in the strip club for X amount of years, or and I did this in my life. I sold drugs, and I murdered people, or I was a robber. I did this. I served time. That's not your title.
Right.
That's what you did, but that's not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't carry your sins like it's a title, because it's not. Those are decisions that you made back then,
Right.
and you learn from those moments, and you take the wisdom that was imparted into you in those moments, and you apply that wisdom going forward in
Mm-hmm.
your life, and
Yep.
you tell yourself on a daily consistent basis, what I did back then will never control me going forward. It no longer holds me bound. It
Mhm.
no longer has control over me. I have took the scissors and cut my own strings, and I am walking to the beat of my own drum. I am no longer a prisoner in my own mind because I set myself free. Yeah, who the Son set free is free indeed
That's
because
right.
God already set you free. But now you got to do the next step to do it for yourself
That's
because
right.
He's still here waiting on you like this. You ready?
Mhm.
Is you done? Because I'm in 2025 and you still over here in 1992. Catch up, sis.
Right.
Catch
Exactly.
up. So move with the times of where God is taking you and not where you've been through because that is over. That season is done.
Mhm.
It is a new season and it is a new day. I tell anybody, we got 6 seasons. We got summer, spring, winter, fall. We got your season and we got due season.
Mm. Okay, sis. That's powerful right there.
6 seasons. Which season are you living in?
Mhm.
Now go ahead and
Yeah.
shut this thing on down so we can tell these people good night. Tell
Thank
us
you
how we can
again.
follow you on social media. Where can we get your book, A Prisoner in My Own Mind? Give us all the sugary details.
Okay. Well, on Facebook, my book page is it's actually a prisoner of my own mind. So it's on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook, a prisoner of my own mind. Then I'm on IG, a prisoner underscore of my own mind. The website to purchase my book, if you want an autograph copy, is www.rhondareedinc.com. And then you can also purchase it through Amazon. And my personal page on Facebook is under Rhonda Barkley, which is my maiden name. But yes, it's called again A Prisoner of My Own Mind. And I'm working on my other books. They'll be released soon as well. But thank you, and I appreciate you, Jazz. I just love you so much.
You are so welcome, and thank you so much for being on the Fly Show again. Where the Fly stands for First Love You. Thank to each and every one of you that tuned in with us on tonight. I hope you enjoyed the first episode here of the Fly Show, and I look forward to seeing you here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all go enjoy the rest of your evening. Don't forget to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. Good night, everybody.
Good night.